when we were in our personal dialogue about like, hey Thomas, I want to interview, blah blah blah. I want it to be about Christmas and Santa Claus, yada yada, and anything else. Like, are you curious about something? You said, well, let's can we talk about microdosing magic? And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, well, I didn't read your book, the microdosing magic book, so I don't know. And I asked you, what would you like to say about it? And you said you wanted to talk about the difference between microdosing, which I assume when you say microdosing, you're sort of encapsulating the larger cultural fad right now around utilizing sub-perceptual doses of common psychedelic compounds to basically go about your day
Yes.
in a more enhanced way, oftentimes leading to greater capitalistic success, but that's a whole other topic. But like going about your day after having a sub-perceptual dose of psychedelics, what is the difference between that and what the hell is microdosing magic?
Sure. So microdosing magic is just a magical approach to microdosing. I know that sounds like a one-off line, but that's what it is. So you have somebody, they wake up in the morning. Do you microdose at all?
I do. I
Okay.
microdosed today, actually. I'm currently exploring the Stamets protocol for epigenetic neurogenesis, so a mix of psilocybin mushrooms, niacin, and lion's mane.
Well, nice, cool. I know you doing the Monday through Friday with Saturday, Sunday off because that's his schedule.
Yeah, I am doing that. Although I started last week, so I only did 3 days in a row. But I'm going to be doing it for the 5 days for a total of probably another 2 weeks after this before I step back and check in.
Sure. So the difference then, let's start with then schedules. Let me just grab my book 1 second. Sorry. So here's the first difference between microdosing and microdosing magic. It has to do with the way you schedule your dose cycle. So we were talking about the Stamets cycle, which is Monday through Friday, abstaining Saturday and Sunday. There's also the Jim Fadiman cycle, which is you have 1 day on, 2 days off, 1 day on, 2 days off. So that's microdosing. Microdosing magic works like this. Your schedules are based on sacred geometry. So
Hmm.
each one of those black dots of the hexagram is when you take your dose. And on each one of those days, you're actually prepping your mind with a different magical operation. I also use ancient Germanic runes to set schedules. And these are just different, kinds of dose cycles that people can go on. They have things like generosity, journey, achievement, rebirth, and just things to focus on as you're taking your dose. I also have the Pentacle, which is my favorite dose cycle to run. And so that's the first major difference, is that I'm not just taking a dose, I'm taking a dose with an intention. And now for me, when I take my microdose, I actually don't even microdose. I take what I call threshold doses or higher. But for the public at large, microdosing is definitely a great, baby steps into taking, real macro doses, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that should ultimately be the goal. I really do.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
What's that?
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So with taking the dose, for me, taking a microdose takes an hour. I take my dose and then I meditate for a half hour. Then, because it takes about a half hour to reach a deep meditative, most experienced meditators, that's about how long it takes. And then I switch to visualization. And depending on what cycle I'm running, I do visualization work on that very thing. So I'm not just taking my dose, I'm setting my entire just psyche around a goal when I'm taking my dose. That's the major difference between microdosing and microdosing magic.
Great. I assume your book is available.
My book is available on my website, psychedelicwitch.com. It's also available on Amazon. All three of my books are available at Amazon. But if you get them off my website, that helps me way more.
Cool. I'll include a link
But
in the
get them off
description.
Amazon too. That's fine.
Yeah. I'll include a link in the description. Thanks for those extra pieces, Thomas.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me.